Monday motivation. What's motivation? Like what motivates us? What keeps us going? What's the fuel? Like when you running empty, when you don't want to do it, like how do you keep going? Like that's the $1 million question. How do you keep going? Every day is different. I had a hell of a weekend. Wife was gone, Miami on vacation. It's me here with the kids, and it was just lemony snickets. Just a series of unfortunate events. Uh, Daughter's hamster died the day of my wife leaving that morning. Um, Projector broke. That was a few days prior to that. Um, the dolphin in the pool stopped working. Let's see. Uh, the grill caught on fire. That was crazy. Um, what else? Daughter almost started the fire in the kitchen and stuff. It was craziness. It was craziness. All of that. That's all the bad points. Because that's people just want to hear the wild stuff, right? Oh, it's the wild. The bad news first. You know. So that's the bad stuff. Good news. Nobody's hurt. Everybody's alive. Everybody's safe. Everybody got their limbs. You know. And we learned some stuff. So we got through the weekend. But it was crazy. I didn't realize how hard this job is without my wife. Like, I feel like I do a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's 50-50, 60-40, leaning one way or the other, depending on the day sometimes. But I was not her other 50% this weekend. I was trying. But the good note, you know, I got to hang out with my kids, and we painted. You know, we took a drive out to Sandusky just to go get Sonic because we love Sonic and shakes and stuff like that. You know, we just got to hang out and vibe. You know, it was interesting. It was definitely probably better for some of us than others, but we made it through, and you know, you need those times to build character, to build you up. My Monday motivation is about fear. Being afraid to do things, try new things. How is it that you're ever going to get further in life and do things without getting over that fear? Something's always is always going to be new. It's always going to be foreign to you, you know, unless you know it. But it was always a point when you didn't. So the need and the want to know, or the love for information, or whatever your motivation is, you know, knowledge, money, power, I don't know, but that has to be greater than the fear. The fear of trying, the fear of failing, a lot of people, the fear of succeeding, you know. A lot of people have jobs and they work in these jobs and they don't know if, you know, they can do that next step. They can do their boss's job or whatever. You probably can, you know, but it's a fear factor thing, and you have to have a mind over matter approach in order to get through life and to get through that. You really do. And I mean, without that, You're going to be afraid to venture out and try new things and opportunities and everything. You have to be stronger than that fear. I learned a long time ago that there was nothing to be afraid of. There was no boogeyman. There were only consequences. But there was no boogeyman. There was no, there was no scary monster and stuff like that. It was just consequences. And with that being said, being being about that life and hustling and stuff, what the hell? Sorry, YouTube. Alright, so that happened. Some guys bumping into a Fiesta. So I would have showed you, but it was so ridiculous. Anyway, hope I don't get copyrighted over that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You got to be stronger than the fear. You got to be able to push past this stuff. You got to be able to go to a place that you didn't know that you had to get more out of yourself. I can remember most of the jobs I ever had in my life and being there, and with any job you start, that first day is the scariest. You don't know anybody, all of this stuff, or maybe you do, but it's a fear. It's a fear of not knowing what's going to happen, how you're going to, but in the end, most of the time, it work itself out. You get comfortable, you get used to things, and you go. The problem I always had was not really a fear of really succeeding, but a fear of people blocking me from succeeding. It was more so like, I had my first job. I had a paper route. I was 13 or 14, and they told me I had to get up early and 5 a.m. and deliver these papers before school, and I had to do this every day. And if I did this, I could at the end of a week, I can make like $160. And I was like, man, that's a lot of money. Well, at that age, I didn't know what time was and things like that. All I knew is, now I got about $50 a week or $60 a week, and now I can have about $160 a week on top of that other money I had. So, it was just good math at the time. What I didn't realize is that the hours and the time I was putting into this wasn't worth it. It was crazy. I mean, it was like slave labor, and it that was an experience that helped me get over the fear of having a job. That was the first job I ever had, and that got me over that. And I did that for like a year. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. I think I was a freshman in high school, maybe, yeah, something like that. It was crazy though. But I remember it was out of control. But that was the first time I had to deal with, not knowing if, people were going to pay me, and it was craziness. But you fast forward from that to, I remember having a job in the district manager of AT&T for the support center for Northeast Ohio. So I'm in charge of, I don't know how many AT&T stores there are, but it's a lot. Something 1,100 or something like that. But I'm responsible to oversee this. I got to get up every day and drive to Mayfield and get my office, and then drive to these stores. And it was just crazy. And it wasn't a job that I ever had before. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But I've been a boss. And I'm like, I can do it. And I did. I did it for 5 or 6 months, and it sucked. It was terrible. And I took the job mainly. I mean, money. I mean, I didn't care for the job. I didn't care for people I worked with or any of that. But I cared for the opportunity to learn and to get some knowledge out of it. And I left that job because that job did not value didn't really value my time. I didn't really get anything out of it, in the beginning. But looking at it in hindsight, it was a lot. I got a lot of experiences out of it, a lot of things that I like to call intangibles. I got a lot of things that you can't teach if you go to school. You can't teach someone to react a certain way if someone's irate or yelling at you. You know what I'm saying? It's just these things you can't acquire while you're in school. But I think the biggest part of it was I was motivated every day, every single day, to get up and go back to that because you know having money and things like that are things you have to do. But I always knew in the back of my mind it was always another way to get money. Always another way to get money. Always. And every job I ever had, I always found ways to make additional money or just pave my own way around it. I'm a hustler. That's what I do. I don't know how to conform to anyone's really. I don't know, I want to say rules and regulations and stuff, but I don't like when people try to put you in a box. You know that I think that's when you're hindering people. People aren't allowed to perform at their the highest of their expectations, the best of their expectations, if people are putting them in a box. And your motivation has to be stronger than all of this bullshit that you're dealing with. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but a job for me was bullshit. So, you know, that was never something that I was ever gonna really be able to do. You know, at at 15 years old, you know, the year after I had this paper out, I didn't have a job that following summer, and I I hustled all summer long. I started a bike shop, and I prepared bikes and fixed them up and everything, and sold them and rented them out, and had a whole little enterprise. And I don't know, I don't know, I was making a couple $100 a day. It was nice. It was interesting. But I didn't act like I was making a couple $100 a day. I kept everything regular because I got a single mom parent, and she was out doing her thing, trying to, you know, just work and maintain for us. But any of that extra stuff that my brothers and sisters and I wanted, I had to provide that. You know, they wanted video games and fun stuff and bikes, and they want to, go get ice cream and all of this. I provided that. I was dad. You know, that's why I'm the way I am, because I didn't really, at a young age, I didn't have a chance to be a kid. I had to be an adult, so I had to see things differently. I had to move differently. I had to understand that the world wasn't gonna give you shit. You had to go get it. So if you really want something, you gotta go get it. That clothes and clothes mouth don't get fed and all this extra. Look, if you're sitting on your ass, if you if you've watched a video prior to this and you ain't got anything from it, I'm sorry. Maybe you don't vibe with me. Maybe this isn't for you. But if you watched the other one and now you back to this one and stuff, it's the same message more or less. You know, you got to know your self worth and know your self value, and don't let people take advantage of you. Because they will, and you really have to hold yourself at a higher standard than the number that people put on you, than that $9 an hour or $11 an hour or whatever it is. You have to want that next thing, your dream, your whatever you have going on. You have to want all of that more than the person that's in front of you, just in your way of you getting it. It's about preservation right now, and if you don't have your own way of thinking, or a plan of how you're going to go about things, you're going to get lost out here. The world is going to eat you alive. Shit is different, it's never going back to what it was before COVID, before pandemic. So for everybody that's thinking that it is, I'm sorry, but it's not. If you haven't seen that yet, I don't really know what to tell you. You gotta stop listening to people that don't have your best interests at heart. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because all of that noise and all of that other shit, that shit don't help, until you get your mindset right and your way of thinking to the point to where you can take that negative stuff and use it as fuel. When you're in that state of change and stuff, it doesn't help. It seems like people are patronizing you. It seems like they're against you. It seems like all of that, because you haven't changed your mindset and your way of thinking yet. But once you do, all of that stuff is going to seem like chatter, and you go move without it. My little brother, bro, he moves without it. He doesn't hear the noise. He lets it motivate him. He pushes himself, and he keeps challenging himself. You have to keep challenging yourself on a daily basis. That's the only way you're going to keep going. That's it. There is so many opportunities out here for people to be successful and be able to win. And a lot of it is you're standing in your own way of getting that. It's not somebody's holding you back or doing that. No, if you really want something, you gotta be willing to risk it all. Embarrassment, all of it. Because they go laugh at you and they go tell you that these are dumb ideas and these things aren't going to work and stuff, until it does, and until they see you rich off of it. And then everybody go want to be a part of this shit. So focus on what you really want to do and try to change that mindset. It's a daily thing. It's meditation, it's motivation, it's videos like this, David Goggins. I mean, it's a lot of different things that I tune into, and it gets me motivated and allows me to get some clarity and put these videos out and stuff. And again, like I always say, you like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff, but I don't do this for views. I put these gems out here for my kids, for the family, people, for the future, whatever. When I'm not here, and they can go back and revisit me and see this is how Reese was thinking. My husband, my dad, my brother, my friend. This is how he was thinking, and this is how he was trying to help people, trying to motivate people. Because at the end of the day, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to be successful. And if you checked out the video, guess what? You one step closer. Because if you're taking a chance with yourself and listening to something that somebody has to say about being motivated and stuff, it shows that you care enough to, follow through with some of it, or at least just listen. That's it. We all just want that. We all just want that next step, and it's gonna come. But you gotta be patient. But you gotta stay motivated through all of it. Happy Monday. It's Monday Motivation.